Kirsten, welcome back. It's about 6 months since I started this channel, and when I started the channel I started with a TBR, and there were about 20 books on it, and since then I've read about 60 books, so obviously about half of my TBR is still on my TBR, and there's about 20 more books added to it, because that's the way it goes. I would like to mark the 6 months occasion by showing you my updated TBR. So this is in no particular order. I just grabbed the books off and into a sort of heap next to me. So some of these books I know very little about. I haven't gone through and reread all the synopses or anything. I'm just going to take you through them. So the first book I've got for you is Armageddon Rag by George R.R. Martin. This was a present. It says it's got sex, drugs, rock and murder, about rock and roll and journalism and demons. So I'm quite excited for that. I was given it in January when I had injury, which meant I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't hold books and I couldn't concentrate. So it kind of got put to one side and I haven't gone back to it. But I really should get to this. The next is the Amanda Brown Omnibus Family Trust and Legally Blonde. I absolutely love the film, and I haven't seen the musical. I really want to see the musical. But I've absolutely loved the film of Legally Blonde, so I'm excited for the book. Family Trust is about two people who become guardians to a child and then have to get along somehow, so it could be a bit cliche, it could be, but I'll give it a go because it's in the same book. The Boneless Mercies. This is about hired killers, female, and one of them is fed up of being an assassin, so she goes on a mystery hunt, I think. It's an arc from one of my book boxes. I'm moderately excited about it. I'm sure I'll like it when I get there. It's just not been my number one priority, so that's why it's still on the list. Coastlines by Joanne Harris. I really love everything of Joanne Harris's that I've read, which is why I picked it up. But I've got no idea what it's about. It's got a map. And obviously it's completely grey. So I just picked it up because I like the author, and I think it was 3. A Thrilling Term at Janeway's by Eleanor Brent Dyer. Brent Dyer wrote the Shallow School series, which I'm a big fan of, as you probably know. This is not a Shallow School book, but it's school stories written in 1952 maybe. There's a date in the front, it's 1952. So it's probably early 50s. Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. This is a Viking book, part Wonder Woman, part Viking. I don't know why I haven't read this yet. I guess I just haven't. But yeah, it looks like it's got Vikings and superheroes. What more could you want? The Bronte Girls by Gary Kilworth. This is about someone who decides that modern life is too exciting, and he takes his family to live like the Brontes, secluded away, and then one of the daughters meets a boy, a modern boy. So I guess we'll see how that goes. It could be dire. I'm half expecting it to be dire, but since I've got here, I think I might as well keep it on the list until there's nothing else to read, and then I have to decide whether I actually want to read it or whether I'm going to pass it on. Minette Walters' The Ice House. This is modern crime. I love Minette Walters. All her books are extremely creepy, and this is about 3 women living somewhere, and one of their husbands disappeared, and then a corpse appears, and so it's a murder mystery. I'm expecting it to be quite creepy. Chaos by Patricia Cornwell. I've heard good things about Cornwell. I picked this up because it was there, and it's about a dead cyclist. I was getting it's a little sci-fi, a little murder mystery, a little fantasy. I'm getting Lauren Books vibes from the description, so I'm really excited about that, and I've never read any Cornwell, and I know that lots of you love her work, so we'll see how it goes. The Life of Olado Ekwano, or Gustavus Vassa, the African, by Olado Ekwano. This is a contemporary account of a freed slave. It was first published in 1789, and it was a really important book at the time in London. I am super excited to read it because I know very little about the 18th century, and I will learn. The Silence Between Breaths by Kath Stonecliffe. Again, it's a mystery, it's set on a train. It looks like there might be a bomb. It gets good reviews. I can't even remember where I picked this up from, but it gets good reviews. And if it was you, I'm really sorry, but thank you. So yeah, I'm moderately excited to start this actually. I'm going to put this to one side. Not the End of the World by Geraldine McCaughrean. This is about the Noah's Ark, and one of the grandchildren saves someone who wasn't meant to live. And what happens when you've done that? It's a middle grade book. It's quite short. There's no pictures, but it's an interesting topic, I thought. Tempest Rising by Tracy Deebs is about someone who wants to surf, but she's half mermaid, and she's got to decide whether she wants to follow her mermaid heart or her human heart. It was recommended to me by a friend, and it was given to me by someone from my rowing club. So again, that's a recent acquisition, and I'm super excited for it. The Light Between Worlds is about people who've gone into a fantasy land and then come back. I'm getting Shauna Maguire vibes from that. I'm hoping that it's got a pair of sisters who remind me of Susan and Lucy from the description from Narnia. I'm hoping that the Susan character gets a better write-up in here, but it looks like what happens next fantasy, which I always find very exciting. Night and Silence by Shauna Maguire. I had forgotten that this was out already and I hadn't read it yet. It's the latest Toby Day book. It's quite difficult to explain what happens in this book without explaining what happens before her. But if you like fairies and you like books set in San Francisco, this is a good one, and you should start at the beginning of the series. The other one I can't believe I haven't read already is Magnus Chase and the Ship of the Dead by Rick Riordan, which is the latest Magnus Chase. I love Magnus Chase. I find it hilarious. I love the adventure and classicism and characters. So yeah, if you're into classics, if you're into Norse mythology, pick up a Magnus Chase. Okay, something completely different. Another school story book. Another Eleanor Bradar. Again, it's not Chalet School. It is... None of these have the date in the front, so I don't know exactly when it was. 58 in this edition, so it might be slightly older, but not very older. Carnation of the Upper Fourth. It's going to be quick and fun. Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor. It's about your family and your land. It's about racism. It's a really seminal, important work. I hadn't read it, so when I saw it free or cheap, I picked it up, and still haven't read it, but I'll get there. The Lustre of Lost Things. This is about someone who's good at finding lost things, but bad at social, and I hope everything comes right for him. He says it discovers his voice and knows what it truly means to be found. He has problems with communication. It sounds very lovely. It was a Ninja box book, and I think we get the next Ninja box is coming up, and I still haven't read this one. But that's what it is. The Rose Rent by Ellis Peters. This is Cadfael mystery. It's about murder in the Middle Ages. So yeah, I mean, it does what it says on the tin, really. History and murder, sometimes a bit of politics. Water for Elephants by Sarah Gryn. I have absolutely no idea what's in this book except that I'd heard of it and I thought I'd give it a go. The Queens of Innis Lear by Tessa Gratton. It is King Lear in space. I started it, I bounced off it. I know I'm going to love it when I try again, but I was giving it some space because I obviously wasn't in the right framework. The Uncommon Appeal of Clouds by Alexander McCall Smith. I used to really enjoy Alexander McCall Smith, especially this series, which is about a middle-aged woman who just kind of lives her life, and she's got lots of experience and lots of friends, and so it all goes well, really. But I'm just not sure I'm going to want to read this now. I think I've kind of moved through that phase, so I might never read that. I might pass it on without. Girlstruck Island by Frances Harding. This was a birthday present from my boyfriend. I read the other one straight through. It was brilliant. I'm expecting this to be brilliant. It's got quarrelling volcanoes, beetles that sing, and fish that see the future. I'm quite excited about it. I expect it to be a quick, exciting read. I expect to love it. Don't know why I haven't read it yet. The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. This is about the southwestern America. It's about Mayan mythology, and it looks to be quite exciting. And I will get to it eventually. The Red Queen by Philippa Gregory. Philippa Gregory's books are always well regarded by people who know about the time history. There's a TV show as well, or a film or something, I think. And this is about Margaret Beaufort, who is a Lancastrian, who is the mother of Henry VII. This book seems to claim that she was the mastermind of the rebellion which put Henry VII on the throne, but I guess I'll find out. Jinxed by Amy McCulloch. It's robots, it's robot cats, it's having relationships that aren't meant to happen, with like friendships with robotic cats. She has to get into the right school and everything's going badly for her, and then she meets a cat, and I don't know. It sounds very exciting. I'm not doing well at describing it, but it's got a robot cat, so you know it's not all bad. Sorry, Dean Koontz The Mask. I loved Koontz as a teenager. I haven't really read any since my early 20s. This is a early horror which was originally published under a pseudonym, and I'm expecting to love it without knowing any more about it. More school stories. Monica Turns Up Trumps. It's another standalone school story book by Eleanor and Brian in a Girls Gone By edition, so it's a modern edition. Again, I don't know what the date is. Oh wait, yes I do. It was first published in 1936, so that's quite exciting. I should actually get around to reading some of those because they're such quick fun reads. So next I've got The Revenge of Seven by Pittacus Lure. These are alien books. It's about aliens who've been sent to Earth and they have to save their planets, I forget. We read the first 3 or 4 avidly and then kind of stopped, and then recently I was like, oh yeah, I wonder whether the next one ever did come out. And I found the next one, but I'm just not as excited as I used to be. Anthony Horowitz, Scorpia. This is a middle grade spy novel. They're quite fun, but they just do the normal spy novel stuff. So again, Anthony Horowitz has a brilliant writing style, but it's not really my genre. So I love his writing, but the books I kind of end up going, yeah, okay. Long List Anthology. This is all the short stories. The last book on my to read pile is For Own Meaning by John Irving. It's about someone who accidentally kills someone in a rounders match and how they have to live with that. And I heard good reviews from it again. I know several of you love it. I'm expecting to love it because I've enjoyed his works before. I just haven't quite got to it. So, what do you think? Have you read any of those? Are you excited to read them? Are you excited to tell me about them? What do you want me to read so that you could tell whether it's worth you reading? I don't know. Is it worth me the couple that I wasn't sure about? Are they going to be worth it, or should I just pass them on? What do you think?